What up guys, welcome to another video. Thanks for stopping by. Today is a lot. We have a lot to do on this car, but James Barron Racing is who supplied these parts today. We have a lot of short shifting mods to do and I'm pretty pumped on it. Real quick thing, just really stoked to be working with James Barron Racing, JBR you call it, because they are one of the first companies I had heard of in the car industry in general when I had a Mazda Speed 3. They're known highly for that platform as well as the Focus ST and RS and some other platforms. So I'll have a link in the description to all these parts and their website. So super pumped to be working with them and show you what we're about to do. To have a solid shifter cable bushing. So this is the part that's under the hood. And then we also have an adjustable ST and RS short shifter. So this right in here will open up the package right away. We've got our whole short shifter assembly, arm, the whole nine. This is gonna be super duper nice in the car, and as you can see we got where everything goes. So it's gonna be a long install. We got a lot of stuff to take out on the inside of the car, but let's continue opening up the stuff real quick and see what we're diving into exactly. Real quick, here again is the short shifter itself. That's adjustable. We have our solid shifter cable bushings. Oh, these are sick. Oh wow, look, it's got their logo and everything. And these come apart like this, and you'll see how this works in a little bit, don't stress, but these separate like so. Got two of them, got a weight of some sort, got our bolts, we got our hardware. The area we are after is under the air filter box. I don't have a top on it. I like a little bit extra sounds from the turbo, so I took the filter out, popped it out already, and now we need to get underneath this. So we definitely need to remove this elbow on the intake, maybe the MAF sensor right here, and get in there. So first things, pull this guy off. That separates these. Pull this tube out right here. This comes off pretty easy. We have an 8mm clamp holding this on. Alright, slide this down. I had to get my flathead because I couldn't get in there with the angle. Alright, now let's see how we can get this box out of here. Got our battery box out of the way tilted because we have the MAF sensor that we don't want to ruin the plastic clips. So let's just put it right there. And then this guy right here that you can see is what we are changing out. So we're going to go ahead and kind of pry this guy off of here somehow. This is kind of painful, but this black side underneath here, you basically have to just break this off. You aren't going to use it again. It might take a little bit of prying on, but yep, so there we go. There's one half of it broken off. I'm going to see if some clippers like this will work a little bit better. Oh wow, this is like a really soft piece of rubber right here. It doesn't look like it from the outside. But this is why we got a sloppy feel right here, is just this soft bushing. Before you can put the new shifter bushings in, you're reusing this green piece right here. Now this green piece has a black piece around it, and then it also had the rubber bushing around it. So we already removed the rubber bushing we showed earlier, but I have a pair of these like sharp pliers, I don't know what you call them, and I'm basically snapping this off, trying to get it off without breaking the green part. So you can see that's what we're after right there. But we have to get the black part off first. Inside this black plastic was this little guy right here, and this is all we want. This is what grabs that little ball on the shifter arm. This goes inside the new bushing. So take the bottom piece. You're gonna put it in face down, like so, and then boom, that is where it's gonna connect right there. You're gonna slide this in there, and then you can screw it on. You can see how that is going to work now. Alright, now we're in. We can see that we're ready to take the bottom piece and screw it on. Looking down in here, you can see the bushing on top. Flip it over and you can see the green inside the bottom of that. And then basically you can just push it on, snap it on, and boom, we have a solid shifter bushing now on our cable. let's go ahead and do that one right there. I know some of you guys will be really frustrated when you get to this, so I don't want you to be. These are super major key. You can just cut away at the black plastic. I think this is for reverse, I believe. The second shifter cable. And this is the other green piece you need to get inside. And this reverse one is much harder plastic, so you can kind of see like where I chewed it up. I just very carefully went around the edge and started gnawing at it, you know, and cutting it off, and I could finally get a grip on it. So maybe go buy yourself some cutting tools like this, and you'll be able to get this green piece out no problem and throw it into the shifter bushing and move forward. So this would be something I'd be super frustrated with if I was first getting into working on cars, but it's all about having the right tools, and I got lucky that I had this. So just keep that in mind and don't get too frustrated. The next one is this guy right here. It's the same situation. We're gonna pry it off and remove that bushing and see what this one feels like. I really wish we could get the camera in there, but it doesn't exactly fit and it's just tight in there. So you guys know what to do, but I'll let you know if anything happens that you need to be aware of. This one's a little different. You can see the rubber piece around the edge, pretty unique looking. But you have to break it off in the same exact way. I got any sort of liquid. I found some WD-40 to help slide the solid bushing in the piece on the car. This one is tough as well. I'm gonna use the pliers to slide this dude in. I don't know if this will make sense when you go to put it in, but what I did is I put the JBR side of the bushing flat against the shifter assembly, and then I put the circle part of what holds the cable over it, and then I smacked it and basically put it on the ground and then smacked the cable part over onto the bushing because there isn't enough room to get in there with your hands or pliers and pinch on it. So at least that was the easiest way to do it, and now I can screw the backside onto it and pop both of these back onto our shifter arm. And the shifter arm has the little balls on it basically that these sit on. I have that liquid on them, so everything's kind of slick, so I'm gonna wipe off them with a rag, and I'm gonna put a rubber glove on and make sure I get the back side of these bushings that screw on as tight as possible so we don't have anything coming loose. This is like an oil filter where you can only get it so tight with your hand. We can see shift bushing, everything snapped in place, ready to rock. But wait, the scientists over at JBR tossed in a weight that we can put on the shifter arm, and it screws onto the top of the bushing. Grab a 10mm wrench, we'll snug this thing down. Okay, we are tight. Everything's good. Let's see how this feels inside the car. The difference in feel through words I can explain is the most drastic part is when you hit the end, it doesn't go like doing and then like want to like bounce back at all. It's just smack and it's just hitting a wall. It's there. It feels much better. So next up we'll start installing the short shifter. As far as the short shifter goes, you have your 2 points where the shifter cable goes, and then you have 3 options to how much you want to reduce the length of each shift. So I'm going to do the top one, that's the most extreme. You have about a 30% reduction, and then you put in your weight right here, and then you screw this guy on right here. I tighten them all down with a wrench so everything's good to go. It's pretty straightforward. So let's go back inside the car and start tearing it apart. This short shifter can be frustrating. I didn't know until after, but there are really detailed instructions on the JBR website. I'll have a link in the description. So alongside this video, there are really high detailed instructions in a PDF form that are great and helpful for this. So if you're doing it, make sure you check those out. If you're here for the entertainment, thanks for stopping by. Continue watching the video. I'm not sure how much we're going to take off, but we're going to have to learn. So basically, just reach your hand in here, pull up, and this guy will slide off like that. And then we're going to twist off our shift knob. It might be tight. I can tell this one's never been taken off. Cool. And then we have a little spring. That's our lockout. Don't want to lose that. And then this whole thing comes off with it. So that's off. Now we can look inside. We have 4 screws, and then we need to get our cable off. Get these 2 cables off right here. This is a plastic clip remover tool. Also great for doing this. You can just pry it on it. Alright, got both of those off. Pretty simple. Now let's go ahead and grab a screwdriver and start taking off the 4 screws that hold the shifter assembly in. Don't drop them. Grab a rag, have that handy because we're going to have a lot of grease. I've got 2 pairs of needle nose and this light to show you what's happening right now. You guys can see that spring straight ahead. Now we're going to go ahead and grab the tab on the lower with the needle nose and move it out of the way because that's holding it in. And also, which is kind of weird and seems scary, this tab right where my finger is, we're going to have to cut so we can pull it out. It has something to do with production and we don't need it for anything, but yeah, that's that. I saw it in the CJ Pony Parts video. I really want to film this and show you, but it's so tight in here I can't show you. We're just going to go ahead and have to see it once we're done. Another thing you got to worry about in here is that the top of the plate and the back of it through this little square right here in the middle is plastic clips that hold this in. So we're going to try and get the front off first, pull it up, and then get the back one, and then we can grab that spring right there and move it out of the way, and this should all come out. Just got it out. It was a pain. The spring wasn't too bad. I used a flathead screwdriver to pry it out of the way, but the one main problem was the clip on the back, and it ended up just breaking off, sadly. I tried everything for like an hour and a half, literally straight trying to figure this thing out without breaking it, and I was able to take these this tool with this pick, stick it in there, bend it back, and I just bent it ever so slightly too much and it snapped off. But we do have the 4 bolts that hold this down, so it won't ruin it, but be careful. We do have some things to transfer over here. We're gonna go ahead and pull this guy off right here. And then we're also gonna take this rubber O-ring, and this is where the spring sits. We're gonna go ahead and put it on the new one. Slide it down. Before we get any farther, there's the big one right here. That slides off. Gotta get this out of here. With this shift plate, when you're looking at it, you basically have to get it out like this. Now this had such a gnarly edge on it, I could not get it out to save my life. I literally busted my hands 10 times, smacked it on the ground, broke this plastic right here. I just said, screw it, I'm gonna gnaw this down and saw it down with the Dremel over there. And what do you know? Comes out super easy. I don't know if this is gonna cause problems later, but we don't really plan on going back to stock with the shifter, so we're just gonna send it and leave it like that. Now we can go ahead and grab the new one. I went a step ahead earlier and I shouldn't have. This unbolts, which is gonna make our life a lot easier. Got our plate on, screw this guy back on, 4-hour reverse. Gonna go ahead and slide this one on. Good to go. Oh man. I went and put this on the ground and then pushed the whole thing into it. And we are pretty much Short shifter is in. It was pretty difficult, I'm not gonna lie. I struggled with it for a while, but we got it in and it feels great, and I'm glad I got through it. Super frustrating. It sounds dramatic, but this would piss you off. It pissed me off, but we got through it, made it work. Now the next part that was frustrating was from factory. There's a long rod here for the reverse lockout, which is this, and this comes in the kit, this little clip. You clip it to it, and then you clip it straight to this guy, so you connect the two, and then it slides on and it fits right. This is strictly for the people that are installing it. This will make complete sense when you go to do it and save you a ton of time. I just spent the last like hour and a half trying to figure it out, so. Check out how short that is though. That is way lower in there. Reverse lockout is working nicely. About 100 miles on the new short shifter. It looks a lot shorter just looking at it, and I'm really digging it. It feels really good. John over at Good Speed, when he was running the car on the dyno for us in the E30 tune video, one of the first comments he made is, the short shifter feels good. I was like, yeah, I know, I just put it on. It definitely makes this car feel like it should. You feel much more attached. When you pull it to the left or the right, it flings back into the middle a lot easier. It's definitely notchier. You can see right there, like it just, into place. Other than that, I'm trying to think of anything else I could say about it. Other than, you can't feel it until you put it on. But if I were to keep this ST forever, and if I were one of you, this is one of the mods that I would for sure do in the middle process of building your ST. We can get into what order I would do things in another video, but this is definitely up there and I really enjoy it. So in the description there is a link to this product from JBR. I'm super appreciative of them supporting the channel and opening our eyes to this product, so check it out. I highly recommend this product. It's one of my favorite mods, hands down, especially to get that driver connected feel with a car that has a shifter cable, not like a linkage or straight to the transmission. These front wheel drive cars are different, so this is definitely going to be up there for making you feel like this is more of a typical race car situation. The front wheel drive definitely takes that away with the shifter cable, but this gets rid of most of it, and then those shifter bushings, of course, in the front for the cables. This is a good setup. I highly recommend it. Make sure you check out the playlist on the screen as well for all the content. And I'm just gonna wait for you guys to go on the playlist or click a video on the screen right now. Maybe listen to a little music right now for about 20 seconds.